Remember when frozen dinners used to feel like a treat? When you'd pop open one of those foil trays and it actually tasted like a real meal from the kitchen? Somewhere along the line, that charm disappeared. Convenience stayed, but the quality took a nosedive. Today, some options lurking in the freezer aisle are barely food at all, packed with additives, sky-high sodium, and ingredients you can't even pronounce. The truth is, not all frozen dinners are created equal, and some are downright worrying. Let's be honest, we've all grabbed something quick after a long day, hoping for the best. In this video, we're counting down 7 frozen dinners you should never buy, and the 3 that are actually worth keeping in your freezer. Stick with us until the end for some trusted alternatives that won't compromise your health or your taste buds. Will your go-to brand make the danger list? Let's get started with number 7. Number 7. Michelinas by Bellisio Foods. Let's be honest, Michelinas has long been one of the most budget-friendly frozen meals on the shelf. And at first glance, that seems like a win. But here's the catch. When a frozen entree costs under $1, something has to give. And unfortunately, that something is usually quality. A closer look at their chicken Alfredo meal reveals more than 1,100 milligrams of sodium, over half your recommended daily value in just one tiny tray. It's also full of fillers like modified cornstarch, partially hydrogenated oils, and mechanically separated chicken. Yes, that's a real term used to describe a production process that's as questionable as it sounds. One Redditor bluntly warned, "It tastes like cardboard sauce poured over spongy pasta," and that seems to be the heart of it. This is less about nourishment and more about manufacturing to hit a price point. Think about that. Are we really saving money when what we're eating barely qualifies as dinner? There's better value out there, and we'll get to those later. But that brings us to number 6, and I have a feeling this one might surprise you. Number 6. Banquet by Conagra Brands. Most of us remember Banquet as one of the staple freezer meals growing up, with its bright red box and a promise of comfort food classics at an unbeatable price. But here's the thing. Nostalgia fades fast when you look at what's actually inside. Their Salisbury steak meal, for example, contains over 60 ingredients, including caramel color, hydrolyzed soy protein, and a host of preservatives that would confuse even the savviest label reader. Can you imagine putting 60 different things in a homemade meal? According to the USDA, Banquet recalled over 245,000 pounds of poultry products back in 2016 due to potential contamination with metal pieces. And in 2022, there was another recall after consumers found plastic fragments in turkey meals. As one disappointed customer put it, "I used to love these as a kid, but now they taste like disappointment and regret." It might sound dramatic, but there's a real point there. When meals are mass-produced as cheaply as possible, food safety and nutritional standards often fall by the wayside. So we've covered a budget champion turned cautionary tale, but our next entry involves a brand you'd never expect to end up on this list. Number 5. Lean Cuisine by Nestlé. Now this one catches a lot of people off guard. Lean Cuisine markets itself as a healthier option, often nestled in the wellness or fit section of the freezer aisle. The branding suggests balance, simplicity, control. But here's the catch. When we take a closer look, the picture gets murky fast. Many of their meals still clock in at over 700 milligrams of sodium and contain questionable ingredients like carrageenan and disodium inosinate, which are used more for texture and taste enhancement than actual nutrition. According to Harvard Health, high sodium intake remains a leading contributor to cardiovascular disease, and eating multiple of these meals in a day could put you well over the daily recommended limit. Think about that. It's also worth noting that some of their so-called high-protein options rely heavily on soy protein concentrates rather than real meat or plants. As one nutritionist bluntly warned, "It feels like you're just eating a product, not a meal." And that seems to be the heart of the issue. A shiny label doesn't always mean safer or smarter. So we've covered meals that fail on flavor and transparency, but that brings us to number 4, a brand that was once held up as a gold standard, and I have a feeling their recent fall from grace might surprise you. Number 4, Amy's Kitchen. Let's be honest, this might come as a shock to a lot of you. Amy's has long been seen as the go-to for organic, vegetarian-friendly, and wholesome frozen meals. Their packaging practically whispers, safe, clean, trustworthy. But here's the catch. The behind-the-scenes story has raised serious concerns over the last few years. In late 2021, and again in 2022, Amy's issued recalls on thousands of units of their popular vegan organic rice mac and cheese due to potential contamination with metal fragments. Yes, metal again. According to the FDA, the recall involved over 15,000 cases, a scale that should give anyone pause. But it goes deeper. Reports in 2022 revealed troubling allegations about working conditions at their Santa Rosa plant, with whistleblowers describing unsafe environments and pressure to meet extreme production quotas. As one former employee told NBC, "We were pushed so hard and corners were cut just to keep up with demand." While Amy's publicly pledged to address the concerns, the idea that a brand built on values could so easily falter is unsettling. Think about that. It reminds us that even the seemingly good guys are still big food companies, and transparency only goes as far as their latest press release. That brings us to number 3, a brand that's not hiding behind health halos, it's boldly selling indulgence, but at a cost you might not be seeing on the label. Number 3, Stouffer's by Nestlé. Let's be honest, Stouffer's is all about comfort. Those family-size lasagnas, hearty mac and cheese, classic meatloaf, meals that promise to warm you up and fill you up. But here's the catch. This comfort comes at a serious cost. One serving of Stouffer's mac and cheese might look innocent enough, but it delivers a staggering 920 milligrams of sodium and 9 grams of saturated fat. And that's just if you stick to one serving, which, let's face it, almost nobody actually does. Consumer Reports flagged several of Stouffer's most popular offerings as being among the highest in sodium and calories in the entire frozen food aisle. What makes this particularly concerning is their misleading portion labeling. Many of those family-style trays are marketed as having 4 servings, even though most people will realistically split them in half at most. As one frustrated shopper put it, "I thought I was making a smart dinner choice for my kids, but I realized I'd let them eat almost a full day's worth of salt in a single meal." That seems to be the heart of it. The branding whispers comfort and family, but the nutrition facts tell a more alarming story. Think about that. These products are so inviting, so familiar, that they easily slip under our radar. But our number 2 pick takes things to a whole new level. Questionable practices, lawsuits, and a warning you're definitely going to want to hear. Number 2, Hungry Man by Pinnacle Foods, now owned by Conagra. With a name like Hungry Man, this brand has never pretended to be light or delicate. It promises bold portions and satisfying comfort, and for many people, it's a nostalgic favorite. But here's the catch. These meals are not just large, they're loaded with red flags. Hungry Man's selects boneless, fried chicken dinner packs over 1,500 milligrams of sodium, more than 40% of your saturated fat for the day, and a lengthy list of preservatives and artificial additives. One health watchdog group even called out Hungry Man meals in a 2020 report for what they labeled portion distortion. A single tray often contains 2 or more servings, but the packaging is designed to look like one meal. And unfortunately, it gets worse. In 2018, Hungry Man's parent company Pinnacle was named in a class action lawsuit alleging deceptive labeling regarding trans fats. While the case was eventually dismissed, it raised serious concerns about how clearly ingredients and health claims are communicated to consumers. As one fan put it, it's like a fast food dinner in disguise, but somehow with more salt. Think about that. When portion size becomes an excuse to pack in more chemicals and fat, it's not really a meal anymore, it's a gamble with your health. So we've covered hidden additives and marketing tricks, but our number one spot reveals something truly alarming, and I have a feeling this product might be sitting in your freezer right now. Number 1. Kid Cuisine by Conagra Brands. If you grew up in the 90s or early 2000s, chances are you've tried one of these brightly colored trays, complete with cartoon penguins and promises of fun-filled mealtime. But here's the catch. What looks like a harmless, kid-friendly option is actually one of the biggest offenders on the shelf today. A single Kid Cuisine All-Star Chicken Breast Nugget Meal contains over 1,400 milligrams of sodium, 25 grams of added sugar, and more than 40 ingredients, many of which are artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives. We're talking about meals marketed directly to children. Let's be honest, this should concern all of us. One pediatric nutritionist warned, Kid Cuisine normalizes hyper-processed food at a stage when children are building lifelong habits. And that's the heart of it. We expect kids' food to be fun, sure, but safe too. Instead, what we're seeing is a disturbing reliance on dyes like red 40 and yellow 5, both of which have been banned or restricted in parts of Europe out of concern for hyperactivity. Think about that. While parents assume they're getting a quick win with something their kid will actually eat, the long-term cost could be much higher. It's not just about one dinner. It's about what that dinner says is normal and acceptable to our children. But now that we've made it through the worst offenders, let's shift to the good news. There are still frozen meals out there, made with real care and genuine ingredients. So let's take a breath and move into 3 frozen dinners that are actually worth your money, your time, and your hunger. First up on our list of trusted frozen dinners is Saffron Road. Let's be honest, this brand has steadily built a reputation for combining global flavors with high-quality, responsibly sourced ingredients. Their chicken tikka masala, for example, has been praised by testers and consumers alike for its bold spices, tender meat, and non-GMO ingredients. And here's the thing. The chicken is antibiotic-free, the sauce is creamy without being heavy, and the sodium levels are refreshingly reasonable, around 570 milligrams per serving. That's a glowing endorsement when most of the meals we've covered push well over 1,000 milligrams. Saffron Road also avoids artificial colors and preservatives, which sets it apart in a crowded market. As one fan put it, it tastes like something I'd actually cook if I had the time. You can typically find them at major retailers like Whole Foods, Sprouts, and even some Target locations. So if you're looking for something that feels home-cooked without compromising your health goals, this is a brand worth keeping in your freezer. Coming in at number 2 on our recommended frozen dinner list is Sweet Earth, also owned by Nestlé, but with a distinctly different approach from our earlier lean cuisine warning. Let's be honest, Sweet Earth has carved out a reputation for plant-based and flexitarian meals that focus on real flavor without relying on excessive salt or questionable additives. Their General Tso's tofu bowl, for instance, comes in under 550 milligrams of sodium per serving, while still delivering a solid 15 grams of protein from tofu and vegetables. Think about that. It's bold, it's balanced, and it actually tastes like something you might order at a good fast casual restaurant. But here's the thing. What truly sets Sweet Earth apart is their commitment to ingredients you can actually recognize, like organic quinoa, edamame, and whole grains, while steering clear of those mystery fillers and artificial dyes we've seen in other brands. As one reviewer on a nutrition blog put it, I was skeptical, but it genuinely left me full and satisfied, not sluggish or salty like other freezer meals. And that seems to be the heart of it. These meals are crafted with actual purpose, not just assembled for maximum profit margins. You can find Sweet Earth products at national chains like Kroger, Safeway, and many natural food stores. If you're trying to incorporate more plants into your diet, Or simply want to avoid the worst offenders we've covered, this is a frozen meal that won't disappoint. Rounding out our list of frozen dinners actually worth buying is Evil. Let's be honest, this brand has earned its spot with their commitment to real ingredients and sensible portion sizes, offering a welcome departure from the usual freezer fare. Their chicken enchilada bake, for example, delivers 16 grams of protein, contains under 500 milligrams of sodium, and features ingredients you can actually recognize, like black beans, corn tortillas, and roasted tomatoes. And here's the thing. There are no artificial dyes, no synthetic preservatives, and no mystery meats lurking in the fine print. It just feels honest compared to what we've seen from other brands. Think about that. Plus, their packaging provides clear information about serving sizes and nutritional content, which makes informed eating decisions so much easier for busy people. As one relieved customer wrote on a review forum, "It feels like the closest thing to a home-cooked meal I've ever pulled out of a box." That kind of loyalty earns Evil a well-deserved spot on our list. You'll typically find their products at places like Target, Wegmans, and most mainstream grocery chains. So if you're craving something quick but still genuinely nourishing, this is a solid option your body will thank you for. So there you have it, 7 frozen meals to steer clear of, and 3 options you can actually feel good about. What about you? Have you tried any of these meals? Or do you have a go-to favorite we didn't mention? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update from us. Stay informed and be a savvy shopper. And remember, just because something is sold in the grocery store does not mean it's good for you. Let's be honest, marketing is powerful, but so is your awareness. Every time you choose a product that aligns with your values and your health, you're sending a message to the industry that quality matters. Think about that. So take your time in the frozen aisle, read those labels, and know that there are better options out there. Thanks for spending some time with us today. We'll see you next time. And until then, stay curious, stay informed, and stay well. And one final reminder before we go, your voice really does matter. Every view, comment, and share helps push conversations like this forward. Let's be honest, it's so easy to feel overwhelmed in today's food landscape. But you're not alone. We're here to help you sort through the noise and make choices that serve your health, your budget, and your values. Think about that. The power to change the industry is literally in your shopping cart. So keep showing up, keep asking questions, and keep using your buying power wisely. Thanks again for being part of this community. It genuinely means the world to us. We'll catch you in the next one.